Do you pursue something you really enjoy doing, or do you choose something with decent salary and possibly end up hating your life? That's a question pretty much every human being asks themselves at a certain point in their life. Let's take a look at this question on Reddit. I'm 28 and every dream I had as a kid revolved around something creative like writing, teaching, art, storytelling, etc. But as I got older, reality set in. So right off the bat, they didn't have a specific dream. They just dreamt about doing creative things, which is kind of vague. All those paths pay next to nothing unless you're one of the lucky few who make it. So I did the practical thing. I went into accounting. All those paths pay money regardless if you make it or not. When people say make it, they more than likely refer to being famous or being super rich. There's so many jobs that involve all of that. You don't have to become a famous person to make it. I'm financially stable, have benefits, decent hours, and wake up every day feeling hollow. It's not even burnout. It's that quiet realization that I built my life around surviving and not living. I keep thinking, do I risk everything for passion, knowing it could mean financial instability and constant stress? Or do I stay in the safe lane and accept that happiness might never come from work? It's like no matter what I pick, I'm losing something important. That's not true. Last night, while I was gaming on my phone and caught myself zoning out, wondering if this is just what adulthood is, trading meaning for security. You were gaming on your phone, asking if this is what adulthood is? This is my take. The question here is essentially passion or stability, right? If you're in this position right now, I promise you, you are not alone. Obviously, if you're struggling alone or a million other people are struggling with you, it doesn't matter. My point is, a lot of us, including myself, know exactly what you're thinking right now, what you're going through. And I'm very sorry that you're stuck with that uncertainty. So how about we just figure it out right now in this video. Welcome to the channel, blah, 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 whatever. Here's the reality, yeah? Life isn't about choosing passion or security and stability. It's not binary like that, meaning it doesn't have to be one or the other. Imagine your life like an RPG character, like a character in a video game, yeah? Everybody has limited stat points to spend on increasing each of your attributes: energy, time, money, risk tolerance. Yeah, you get the idea. Now, when you're building a character in a video game, obviously you can't max out everything. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So most grown adults by default max out the one thing. They spend all their stat points on one thing: security, stability, income. That's because it's the safest bet to cover your lifestyle that you want. That's the key word there. That's the lifestyle you want. If you max out the security attribute, you get a steady income. You get a proper roof over your head. You know exactly how your days will go. You're not uncertain of what's going to happen next week. That's what most people want, no? A nice house, a nice car, the ability to go on vacations once in a while, the fridge is full. Greed plays a big role in this, by the way, but we can break that down in another video. Anyway, the downside of this is that your passion stays at like a level 2 because you barely have stat points to spend on that. Now, the common problem is over time you start realizing your character kind of sucks for this video game we call life. You're basically stuck at a certain level, a certain stage, just mining ore or whatever. On the positive side, you are not actually stuck. You just think you're stuck. At 28 years old, brother or sister, you can rebuild, man, if you do it right. In my experience, having a stable career is the perfect time to start exploring your passion and your creative abilities, and maybe turn it into a side hustle, because you know what? Now you have security. You can handle small risks, and even if it doesn't make you money, bro, that's cool. I still have my fridge full and I have gas in my car. If you want to become an artist and sell your paintings, guess what? You still have a job and you're still able to do that passion. If you want to be a musician and you want to do gigs on weekends, guess what, bro? You don't have to depend on that. If it is any extra money coming from that, cool, but you still have your main job. No stress. My next point is that you don't know if you're going to be happy. Nobody ever tells you this when they say, oh, yo, you should follow your passion. You might still hate it. They don't tell you that part. If you're stuck in a shitty life right now, dreaming about becoming an artist or dreaming about becoming a musician, you're probably thinking about the cool side of that life, right? You're performing on stage. The crowd loves you. You're touring the world. People are taking photos of you everywhere you go. You're probably not thinking about, What do I do to get signed? How much marketing do I need to start getting paid gigs? How much networking do I need to do before I start meeting club owners and event organizers? How much music do I need to put out? How do I create content for social media every day? That's work, bro. I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying the chances are you're thinking about the glory of following your passion and not the hard work it involves. Now, if work makes you unhappy in general, then following your passion is the same shit. You will be unhappy anyway because most of the creative line of work involves 80% of it is just boring labor, is emails, creating content, doing Photoshop, tweaking your music. If you have your paintings, you're testing out, you're scrapping paintings. And I say creative because everybody's passion coincidentally involves something creative. You don't hear anybody say, yo, my passion as a child, I've always wanted to become a mechanic, a workshop owner, or I've always wanted to start my own garbage collection company. You don't hear nobody saying that. They want the sexy passions. What I mean by sexy is stuff that sounds cool when you say it, when you introduce yourself, right? Oh, I'm a writer, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. Nobody wants to have a passion in any other field that involves work. Anyway, I digress, sorry. Basically, passion, whether you make money from it or not, will not ease struggle. It won't get rid of unhappiness. When you work a job you don't care about, you suffer from boredom and emptiness. When you chase your passion, you suffer from stress, pressure, uncertainty, high chance of failure, dude. In my opinion, a job is easier, bro. I haven't had a job in 10 years. And I'm telling you, as someone who runs multiple businesses and has a music career and several other passions that I'm pursuing on the side, having a job that pays okay and you can cover your ass, way easier. Once you can handle that negative, then you can start pivoting towards working for your passion. Otherwise, you're just moving sideways. You can't want to start a business and make money from your art or your creativity and be a shitty employee. You need to learn how to be a good employee before you become a boss. I say that because in most creative lines of work, you will become your own boss at a certain point. Having a job is a prerequisite. You need to get that shit sorted first, then pivot. This brings me to my next point. Every path you choose comes with pain. There is no singular path. You can be like, okay, that one's all rainbows, flowers, and shit that smells nice. There's none like that. You're living a fantasy if you think that. If you choose security, the pain is just quiet and emptiness. You wake up on time, you show up, do your work, go home, hate your life. If you choose passion, the pain is much louder. Rejection, uncertainty, failure, stress, and that constant voice in your head asking, am I good enough? You will question yourself every single day, bro. Neither option in life is the happy one. These are just different flavors of suffering. So instead of asking which path in life is the better choice, which one's the happier one? None. It's a matter of choosing how you want to struggle. What price am I willing to pay to continue living the life that I want? Now, let's talk about that specifically for a second. Life isn't always about career and what you do for work. At some point in your storyline, for some reason, we all start acting like our career is the main mission. I understand because it takes up a majority of your waking hours. So what? You use it to put food on the table, you feed your kids, you put a roof over your head, to travel or whatever it is you do with your money. But that doesn't mean everything else in life becomes a side quest. Work is just one part of the game, whether it's something you're passionate about or not. I love making music. I'm a music producer. I make okay money from that, as well as several other businesses that I have. My life doesn't revolve around any of that. Yeah, I spend a lot of time working and I spend a lot of time with music. It's not my life. Why? Because I am not single-faceted. I am a complex human being. You are a complex human being. You are not just this or that. Stop simplifying yourself to just what you do for work or what you do for passion. There's this dumb, toxic idea that if your work isn't your passion, you failed at life. Cool, think like that if you want, but that's the silliest mindset to have. How about maybe your career, your main one, is your side hustle that funds the missions you have in life? Bro, not every dream has to pay rent. I learned this from a musician I looked up to who I met many years ago after a show. And he's actually quite a famous musician in the techno scene, and he plays several gigs a month. And we had a long chat. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to do this full time, quit my job and just chase music production and play at gigs and produce for major artists. And he's like, why do you need to quit your job? Why can't you do both? And that's when he told me he still works a full-time job. It blew my mind, and it really, let's say, woke me up from the whole dream of quitting my 9 to 5 and chasing my passion. Because, by the way, chasing your passion is a 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. kind of life. Worse than a 9 to 5, double the hours. Am I right or wrong here? Life is about having the ability to do the things you love with the people you love, not about making money from it. That is a bonus. And funny enough, that money will simply come around from you doing that consistently. You can't come home from work saying, oh, you're so sick of your life while playing video games and scrolling through Instagram. If you have time for that, then you do have time to work on your passion. So what should you do now? Let's talk solution, because we can chat about this for 10 more videos and nothing's gonna happen. It wouldn't do shit for you. First of all, you don't need to quit your job tomorrow, and you don't need to romanticize being broke while you do art for a living. The first step is to just start rebalancing your life towards the things that make you feel like you again. Whatever that feeling is, bro. Whatever that thing is that gives you that feeling. Bro, just start small. Pick one creative thing that you used to love when you were a bratty little child. Art, writing, hobby horsing, or whatever it's called. And just give that just 1 hour per day. That's 7 hours total per week, 28 hours total per month. I bet you spend more time than that on Instagram. So just pick 1 hour a day and do that. Don't think about monetizing it. Don't start planning about what am I gonna name this Instagram page for my art or music? What was the logo gonna be? Don't do all of that. Just work on the thing. If you're passionate about something, you don't care about any of that shit yet. So test yourself to see if you're actually passionate. And the true way to test yourself is to see if this creative thing is really pulling me to do it. Is it magnetizing me to work? Like I can't resist doing it. I can't wait to get home from work and work on my art. I can't wait to come home from this bar I'm at with my friends and go home and work on whatever it is that I'm creating. That's when it's pulling you. That's a passion, not doing something because it's creative and makes you feel nice about yourself. Once you understand whatever that is, you'll do it. You'll do it more than an hour a day naturally. Most people don't fail at chasing their passion. They just don't start. By the way, this is not a motivational video. This is reality. Most of you out there suck. You will fail because you don't start. You're stuck in this limbo of when I have time, I'll do it, or I'm not quite ready yet, or some nonsense like that. You will never feel ready, bro. Just shut up and start. Start and fail at the thing that you're doing instead of failing to start. That is so pathetic. At the same time, don't completely shit on your safety net. Keep your job while building something on the side. Use that income or some of it to fuel your passion instead of thinking your job is your enemy. Your job is an opportunity. Let's say you're a musician. How are you gonna pay for music equipment? How are you gonna rent studio time? You're gonna beg your mommy for money at 28 years old? It's too late for that, my guy. So go to work, get that money, and spend some of it on your passion, your little creative work. All right, let's wrap this up. Let me tell you something that I always keep in mind, and this is sort of a secret of mine. I don't really talk to people about this or like this because I'm straightforward. Let me be a bit hippie for a second. Life, universe, God, whatever it is you believe in, it continuously tests you because it wants to see if you're going to pass those tests. And if you pass those tests, it rewards you with whatever it is that you want. The thing is, most of the time, passing those tests involves just trying. You don't actually have to win the race. You just have to run. I truly believe that life or the universe genuinely wants you to have a nice life or whatever your version of a nice life is. But it wants you to earn that, because if you don't earn it, you're basically a lottery winner. And what happens to 90% of people who win millions of dollars from the lottery? They go broke within a few years. Find time to do the things that you want to do or love to do. You have a choice, whether you have a full-time job or not. Show whoever it is that's watching up there, hey, I get it. This negative situation, this struggle is an opportunity to prove myself. Prove yourself.